Has your mind ever been so cluttered with stuff that it's hard to think? You know, it's become an epidemic with men these days. A lot of men have trouble kind of figuring things out. Now, our phones may have some to do with that, but I think this was a problem even before we had smartphones. Sometimes our minds as men just get cluttered. They get full of stuff, and it's hard for us to even focus and know what to do. I call that brain boxes. And today we're going to learn how to fix it. Now, when I first got married, I had a really clean kitchen. Why? Because my wife and I would get into arguments and I couldn't think straight. And so I couldn't hit her. I couldn't hit the wall because that would hurt. So I went and cleaned the kitchen. And because I didn't know what to do. She was really good at arguing. I wasn't. But you know, I did learn and I did get better. Men have an ability to create brain boxes. And that's what I had. My brain was so full of boxes, I didn't know what to do. It's part of who we are, but it's not a bad thing. It just depends on how we use it. You see, you don't want to run away from the brain boxes, but you want to understand them. And that's what I didn't. I didn't understand my brain boxes, but later I started figuring them out. And when you can solve your brain boxes, you fix a cluttered mind. Now, there are some brain box positives for us as men. You see, men have boxes to help them deal with stress. See, a lot of times men get into really stressful situations and it's hard. So what we do is we take the stress, we box it up, and we move it to the side so we can focus on maybe what's the more important thing at the moment. And that can be used to our advantage. Men usually do very well in stressful situations because they can box up all the other thoughts and feelings. And so what we have to do is we have to learn how to focus that in a positive way. When you learn how to do that, that's a brain box positive. What are some other positives that you can think of for our brain boxes? Let me know in the comments. Now, there are some brain box negatives. You see, the danger of our brain boxes is we can tend to put things in them, move them to the back of the brain, the things that we don't want to think about or deal with. And the problem with those boxes is they start piling up. And they block us from really getting to the more important areas of our life. We can't really think straight. We can't think clearly. That's a brain box negative. And what we have to do is learn how to deal with that mental clutter, or we'll never be able to really live the principled life we were designed to live. Hey, don't forget to click subscribe and join the Confident Man community. We're just men who are engaging and exploring our full potential. Come join us. Now, the third thing you want to do is take care of the brain box clutter. The hardest thing for men to do with their brain boxes is get rid of the clutter. Some men live their whole lives surrounded by boxes in their brain that they never deal with. That was my problem. I had to begin dealing with my brain boxes so I could think clearly to have a discussion with my wife. Now, what it is with men is we think that, well, if I put it away, I don't have to think about it. But you do. You see, the first step for many men is just the recognition that their brain is cluttered, that they have a hard time thinking straight. They don't know. People say, hey, how do you feel? And they're like, I feel hungry. Because they don't know how they feel, because their feelings and thoughts get so jumbled up in their brain because they have so much stuff there. And what we have to understand is that some of the stuff we've boxed up we need to deal with. If you've been rejected or you've lacked love in your life or you've had a lot of hurt, you've boxed that up, you've put it in your brain, and you've got to process that. You've got to open up those boxes and get them out of your brain. Because when you do that, you'll be able to think more clearly, and you need to deal with the uncomfortable ones. And what we have to do is declutter our mind, and that helps us get to the better life that we were designed to live. To declutter your brain box, you have to be willing to go inside your own mind. And I would encourage you to get someone to go along with you. Get some coaching. Get someone who can help you. It's something I've done with a bunch of men. I've walked that journey, and I want to help you walk that journey. Go to davidthemaxwell.com and check out the coaching tab and find out how I can help you declutter your brain box. Now, my journey of decluttering my brain box actually started a few years into our marriage. I went to a recovery place to deal with some issues that I had. And we joked before I went there that it would be a bunch of guys sitting around in a circle crying. It was. But what it was the beginning of many of us becoming free, dealing with things in our brains and in our lives that we'd never dealt with. We didn't know how. And that weekend began the process of us walking in freedom and taking care of the brain boxes.